Welcome to On Air with Kash. Our guest today is the Emmy Award-winning actress from the hit series The Bay. She plays Mel Gibson's daughter in the new feature film Bandit, available in theaters and on demand September 23rd. Please welcome Chiara D'Ambrosio.
Hey, everybody.
Chiara, you are so busy. Your career's been on fire since you were a kid. You've won an Emmy, you have a new movie coming out, and you're studying at USC right now, which is where you are.
Yes, it's been really crazy, but I'm so grateful to be on your show. Finally, we've been trying to make this work, and so I'm glad that today was able to happen.
So am I. I know we have been running into each other constantly all year between the Emmys, the indie series. I've just been keeping up with you and your sister's careers. She's at Berkeley right now. You're here at USC. My aunt went to USC. My dad went to USC. And so, yeah, it's a family of Trojans. So congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so honored and so grateful to be here. I'm pinching myself. I'm like, am I actually at SCA? The School of Cinematic Arts. I'm like, oh, this is so crazy, but I'm so happy.
You've always been ambitious. You're so hardworking. You care very much about your education, and you go for the best and you give them the best.
Thank you. In my family household, my parents have always instilled in me that education is power and knowledge is power. And so I've always, no matter what I've been through, I've always tried to make sure that I put my education as a top priority, as well as my family. I'm just so happy to be here, and I'm studying film. It's crazy.
Of course you are. What area of film are you focusing on?
I'm in the Writing for Screen and Television program here. So it's a very small cohort, about 26 to 30 students. And we just go through the craft of storytelling and character and building suspense. And so I absolutely love it. And I love my assignments. It's so fun. And I get to challenge myself in new ways, which I've never done before. So overall, I'm having a great time and a great experience.
Yeah, as I said earlier in the intro, you've already won an Emmy. I mean, you and Bianca started when you were kids. You've been on so many hit series. You've worked with some A-list talent in the industry. And so to have a childhood like that, you're someone who grew up around it. You have the experience. You've worked professionally.
I mean, it's definitely a new experience because I was homeschooled most of my life. And so going from being at home to being in this environment 24/7, it's definitely a different change, but it's good change. And I needed to have that change to really grow, not only as an individual, but as a student and as a writer, to have new experiences. And so for me, it's intimidating, I have to say. In the film school here, you got to be on your toes. But I love everybody in my cohort, and I've met some amazing people across the different majors in SCA. And I'm just having a great time, and I'm using my prior knowledge to use now. It's being to use. And so it's really exciting.
Amazing. And then right when you're starting school, you have this movie that I actually just watched over the weekend with Josh Duhamel, Elisha Cuthbert, and Mel Gibson. What was it like booking this role and being on set with this cast?
It was unreal. I had a blast. We filmed in a small town in Georgia in May. And so it was really humid. It was just a lot of different other things, but I had such an amazing time. Mel is such a nice person. And on set, we were able to improv a lot, which was something that I really honored because improv, you gotta be on your toes. And so he would always throw a line at me and I'd be like, okay, let me react to that as his daughter. And then Josh Duhamel is one of the nicest people I've ever met on set. He is so nice, and he's really tall. He's really tall. I have to find my picture with him and I'll have to show it to you because there's a really big height difference, like a solid foot. And he was one of the nicest guys. So I'm really happy with the movie.
We actually were just chatting with the director, Alan Unger, today. And me and him were around the same age, and we grew up liking a lot of the same types of movies, the action buddy comedy flicks of the 80s and the 90s. And he was really into crime heists. And I was explaining to him, I was always watching movies as a kid, but when I really started studying film I remembered the poster for Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro was everywhere, and that was kind of symbolic of that transformation from just enjoying movies into studying movies and learning about great actors. And then during that time too, that's when Mel Gibson had won an Oscar for directing and producing for Braveheart, and that was part of that era when a lot of these A-list actors were becoming directors. And so talking to him and talking to you about this experience, it's so inspiring to watch this.
I am so excited for people to see this movie. It is such a fun movie. It'll keep you on the edge of your seats. And it was a fun movie to film. So I am very excited that you really liked it and you can see how much fun we had on screen. So I'm really excited for this movie.
It's based on a true story. And Alan was saying, he was really just drawn to the character drive in this. And that was the thing that I noticed with Mel's character. He plays Tommy. He's kind of basically Josh's character. No spoilers. You have to watch the movie. We're not giving anything away. But Mel Gibson, his character Tommy, he's the guy who's been around, runs the town in the underground. When Josh is trying to impress Mel and be on the crew, that's just such an exciting scene in itself. And these moments that Mel has, because, we're talking about education, and the kind of character that Mel played was, he said he had an 8th grade education, but he has a doctorate in street smarts. And that's, I think, what happens, because the film really studies what Josh's character goes through. Gilbert, who is, who's playing a real life person, he grew up from a lower income family, didn't have all the right breaks, and resorted to the lifestyle that he did. And that is common when you're at a young age, you're trying to survive. He's like, I can't go to school, I got to start making money. And unfortunately, they resort to the lifestyle choices. It's really a character driven movie that I think really examines these things. And your character comes in because Mel's being tough. He's the boss and he's telling Josh how to do this job. And then you come in and you see immediately he gets very protective of you and the environment that you're in. And so you could tell behind all of that, he cares for his daughter and he wants his daughter to have the breaks that he didn't have.
Yeah. So in those scenes, I could definitely feel that love from him and Olivia Diabo, who plays my mom in the film. And it was just so fun to really get that sense of like family with them. And I was only with them for like a couple of days, but I could really feel like welcome and comfortable with both Mel and Olivia, and obviously the rest of the cast and crew anyways. But it was a new experience for sure. And I loved it. And I love crime heist action movies. And this was like my first time being in one. And so those are the type of movies I want to write and be in. So I'm keeping my eye out for them.
I want to see, upon your graduation, you're going to do that. I want to be in the Chiara D'Ambrosio business. I know that you're going to rock it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm down.
I'm down too.
I love it. And no, it's interesting too, is because my good friend Mika Borm, who I grew up with, one of her first jobs was playing Mel Gibson's daughter in The Patriot. She was on a roll. We were kids. She played young Drew Barrymore in Writing in Cars with Boys. She played with Morgan Freeman in Along Came a Spider. She said, just watching Mel on set and how he conducts his business. And she learned a lot about being a filmmaker by her time on set with Mel. I'm really stoked for you and your career. What's next?
Well, right now, there's several movies that are coming out this fall. There's High Heat that's coming out with Don Johnson. It is such a fun movie. My twin sister Bianca and I are both in it. And it takes place over one night. And it's a crime, heist, action, funny movie. It is so good. And we spent, I want to say, a week up in Connecticut. And it was one of the best weeks of my life. It was so fun. And I cannot wait for people to see it in December. Obviously, Bandit's coming out, and the new season of The Bay, and YA. And I'm so excited for people to see YA. I continue my character, Reagan, and with Bianca, my twin sister, Frankie. And we go through the trials of high school and what it means to be a teenager in this new environment and of the age of social media. And so I'm so excited for people to see it as well. And then focusing on my schoolwork, I am working on my craft of writing, and I'm writing short films all the time. And hopefully I can write a feature film and produce it next summer.
Fantastic. You inspire me. Your whole family does. I always feel welcome. I've been very fortunate to be included, the Bay family and everything. And a new favorite of mine was The Magic that you and Bianca both starred in with Christos, our mutual friend and the star of The Bay, as well as Gregory J. Martin. Christos and I talked about this when he was on the show. We've all experienced some losses in our life, and I felt the story was very relatable, very emotional. His character goes through this tragedy, becomes a certain way. It really made him look inside. And you and Bianca were his guardian angels. You brought the light to it. You helped. You saved Christos's character. But I know we're going to watch it again this Christmas, and I'm stoked to see what you guys come up with for the next season of The Bay. I can't wait to see High Heat with Don Johnson and you and Bianca. Such a pleasure to have you on the show. Is there anything that you would like to shout out to your fans?
Just keep working hard towards your dreams. I never thought that I would be in the place that I am at, and that was just all hard work and determination. And always focus on yourself and your mental being, and love those around you, and stay positive.
You said it. Give it up for Chiara D'Ambrosio. She's living proof that if you work hard, if you're ambitious, if you're a good person, good things happen to you. She's already won an Emmy Award. She stars in hit series and movies. You can see her in Bandit with Mel Gibson, Josh Duhamel, Elisha Cuthbert, and Olivia Diabo this Friday in theaters and on demand, September 23rd. Chiara, you always have a spot on this show. You keep rocking. I really admire you for your work ethic. You're very serious about your education. You set a great example for your generation. And even I feel like I'm learning something from you too. So you just keep what you're doing. And yes, one of these days, when you have that brilliant idea, I want to be a part of it. Some kind of action heist.
Of course, you're literally so sweet, and thank you so much for letting me be on your show to talk about Bandit and my career. I really, really appreciate it.
Anytime. You always have an invite.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks so much for hanging out with me and Chiara D'Ambrosio today. You are on air with Kash.